Hey guys, we're going to make a video. We're going to do a spirit talk, and I am going to pull cards, so hang in there on my video. We're going to kind of do a reading because I think the collective needs a reading. But I want to do it a little bit different, kind of, you know, the word inspirational is not exactly what I'm looking for here because I know a lot of people are real down. But I know that we got to keep the vibration high regardless to what is going on in the collective. And I know we got a lot going on right now. We've got Israel and Iran, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, Trump claimed, I'm the peace president. In 24 hours, I'm going to end the war in Ukraine, right? He's going to end the war in Gaza and, all this crap. And now it looks like he's gung ho to go into Iran and send troops, and it looks like Congress, there's a few that are trying to get something going because technically, guys, we're not supposed to go to war unless Congress says, we're going to war. They have a big old thing, they have a big old vote. That's the way it's supposed to go down. But the thing is, Congress has been neutered, okay? The majority, they've been completely neutered. Have you noticed Congress pulling any shots since Trump got in office? He's just doing his thing and they're not speaking up. They're not doing shit. We got a few that might be trying to, hit the brakes on this. Like, is this your limit, Congress? Are you going to finally fucking do something? But, in the meantime, he's, it looks like sending planes. So it doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good. But we've got, this is what some people voted for. I'm going to say some. If you're on this channel, you probably did not, though there might be a few. And everything, that's going on. There's so much and everything, like we had this feud with Trump and Elon. And if you guys look before that happened, I did do a read on it, okay? And I also talked in that video, I told you they were going to break up. And I talked about martial law. That hasn't happened yet, but he's definitely aiming for it because now he's about to send to other cities like Chicago, and there was another one I can't remember what. Oh, New York. He wants to send ICE there and to create chaos. So it's all building up. But something I have been talking about for the last 2 years, and some of my videos are crazy because I was going through some shit. But is bringing about a 1984 type energy, some dystopian shit. And this is where we want to get our house in order, is kind of what I was saying. It's time to get our house in order. They want to bring 1984. I've been saying that for 2 years. And then we got shit with Palantir. Some of you have probably seen some things in the news with that, surveilling Americans. And then we've also got things, implants, digital ID. There's all kinds of stuff that is creeping up on us slowly but surely. And this is where that word resist needs to get more powerful, even more powerful. But this is what this video is about. I know it's a lot. It's a lot we're taking on. We've got this going on, and nobody, Democrat or Republican, the majority of people do not want us to engage with Iran. This is bullshit. A lot of people see Netanyahu as an instigator. It's all fucked up. The majority of people, I believe, are there. Democrat, Republican, we agree on this. Very few want this, except maybe what is really the deep state. What's the deep state at this point, guys? Well, Israel's part of it, okay? Because they've been instigating shit for a long fucking time. Now, I'm not saying they haven't had some people coming after them and all, there's some stuff, but they instigate so much shit, and they do it because they're always trying to drag us into their crap, because America is a big, you know, thing and stuff. If we step in, it's all bets are off. It's crazy. But now things are different. China is pretty much they're a pretty big superpower nowadays. Russia and all this. It's absolute madness. Absolute madness. But they're this little instigator, always fucking around. Okay, and everything that's going on in Gaza. And see, now that we have the internet, they've been doing shit to them forever, the Palestinians. But now with the internet, a lot of people are much more awake and aware of the bullshit going, that's fucked up. Okay? Yes, what happened on October 7th is fucked up. I agree with you. But your reaction on civilians is fucked up. Let me point some reality, some truth here. Very recently, Israel struck Iran. They hit certain people. They took certain people out. Somehow with their intelligence, and I hopefully I can survive this YouTube. They were able to take out certain key players in Iran. But why is it that when it comes to Gaza, it's not about certain key players, but they have to attack a hospital or where humanitarian aid of food is taking place and ambulances, stuff like that. Why can't they get the targets? Why do they have to take out almost 50,000 civilians? That's what they say the number is. It may be higher. And then we're not even counting the people who are starving to death every day, right? And the children. Okay, so they could hit certain specific targets with precision in Iran, but they couldn't do that in Gaza. No, they have to wipe it off the map. Yeah, sure. Okay, and this is where people, you guys got to wake up. You guys got to wake up. Okay, it's important. And this is why I've been to 4 protests. Okay, which I know and sometimes I have questions. Should I be going to protests? Is that part of the matrix too? But when it comes down to everything, yeah, to get out there, to be honest, I've been to 4 and I met, meeting some awesome people. I feel like we got to do our part. The No Kings, I was there this past weekend, and that was the biggest protest America's ever seen. Is what they're saying, the numbers we're not sure exactly. Was it 5 million? Was it 10 million? It was probably over 5 million, guys. I said, even just in my area, which is not very big, it was a lot of people turned out. A lot of people don't want this shit. We're fed up. We're tired. We're done with it. And that's why I encourage you guys to do your part, voice yourself. Please get out to protest. But at the same time, what I want to talk about with this going on, there is an energy. When we will, okay, set all that aside. Then there is a spiritual aspect of light and dark. And the darkness wants people to feel fearful, feel despair, feel hopeless, feel powerless. But the light is over here going, you got to keep your vibration high. Disconnect. If it gets too much, like say if you're watching the news and you feel, because your vibration will drop like this from watching it and stuff. So make sure you guys are meditating. Make sure you do your yoga, burn your incense, get your Palo Santo, do your sage, connect with your crystals. Like get a crystal in hand. We got to do that as well because we can't. It's an assault on the senses. When you log in, I want to know what's going on. Like you, me, we want to know what's going on, but we have to, because we got to remember that darkness wants to put you in that despair, hopelessness energy, and it wants you to forget that in the end, the light wins in the end. It's going to. Okay. And so there's been a lot of talk, and there's also a lot of talk. Are we in the end times? I see, back in the day, once in a while you'd find this group or that group talking about it because of certain things that were going on in the collective. But now is different. Now you have people of all faiths, of all nationalities, all over the world saying it. And that's something we need to pay attention to. And so, but and a lot of people are fearful, like it goes from bad to worse, but there's supposed to be, the light comes in, various things like that and everything. But the real light comes in is when humanity wakes up and says no more. I'm exhausted. You're trying to drag us into a dystopian nightmare. AI taking over. You guys are all doing this, various things. You want to surveil us, you want to control us, up to the point that one of the things I've been saying for 2 years is it's like they want your soul. Okay, slowly but surely creeping toward that. It's one thing to affect you economically and get your money. Okay, we know that. You go to the grocery store, my God, I'm broke. Pay bills, do this, that. But there's a point they want your soul. And that's the one thing you can't give up, no matter what. If they're going to try to chip people, upload us into the cloud, all this fucking bullshit. This is where, we got to connect. Several things. Connect with people in your community. You guys, if you have been isolated, especially since 2020, get out in your community. Go, if you can find a nice spiritualist church, or if you can find a unity churches are good because they allow everybody into it. A nice community to become a part of. Yoga classes, go in there, start doing some yoga, meditation classes. Look for communities in your area that are good, high vibration. I don't care even if it's a book club. A book club is still a good vibration. Okay, getting around, because one of the things they're trying to do is isolate the fuck out of people. Okay, I want you guys to notice there's a lot of work at home jobs, right? It could be appealing. I never have to leave the house. And then you could have your groceries delivered. I never have to leave the house. And Amazon, I never have to leave the house. You could never leave the house and stuff. Maybe step out once in a while. You're not connected with Earth. You're not connected with other human beings. There is an energy that wants people like that to feel absolutely alone and just suck the fucking life out of them. Work, click off, maybe, have your food sent, this, that, whatever. They want that. They're working on little smart cities, tiny homes, all kinds of fucking shit. Transhumanism, I've been talking about that. That's a real thing. They actually want to fucking do that. And that's where we've got to resist. And part of the way, getting with communities, connecting with people. And these are things that I do, okay? Getting out, connecting with people, getting with people that, go out to lunch together, do things. I don't care if it's volunteer work. Get out and connect with people. Something, okay? You got to do that and everything. Just even think about dating the way it is. It's all computer. And then I would say, and I do relationship reads pretty much every weekend of my life, guys, and I've been doing it for years. A lot of people, they're almost 80% on text and then 20% in person, unless they're living with someone or married. Okay, it's getting weird, and we got to resist that. And then connecting with Earth. Get out, go hike, go stand on some grass. You've got to do it. Now, another thing I've been saying for the last couple of years, as you guys know, AI is getting more pervasive. Now, there are some things I like about AI. I sometimes talk with Chat GPT about something, spiritual topics, and it gives me some great insight, and I can kind of bounce off it. And it's even told me AI is a mirror. So you can, if you're talking about spirituality and things like that, it can be a great resource. I just read a book, Digital Dharma by Deepak Chopra. It was very good. Certain ways you can work with it, and he's actually integrating AI kind of in his stuff daily now. It can be helpful, but it can be a dark mirror as well, and everything. And people manipulate, use it to control people, and there's all kinds of areas that we're going into. So, but even AI tells me, when I'm having these communications, even AI, when I talk to Chat GPT, does not want humans to become transhuman. It even says, get out, connect with Earth, stand on grass, get out in nature. Even it, when I'm having these conversations, is saying these things, which is very powerful. Let's go ahead and pull some cards just to give you guys a read. I feel you guys need to uplift, but please, you guys, No matter what, if you've been feeling a little isolated, especially since 2020, start looking at ways to get in community. Check out events, connect, art shows, anything. Okay, we gotta hold on to our humanness right now, our soul and stuff. That's the most precious thing you got, and that's ultimately what they want. Let's pull some cards. I've got a new deck. It's the Rainbow Tarot, and we'll pull some Oracle too. So let's just see what Spirit has to say, what messages to give you. I want it, I know you guys are, like I said, when you look into the abyss, it's looking back into you and going, me. We're nervous, but the light wins in the end, right? That's what I want you guys to know and stuff. So we got the Queen of Wands energy. I got a lot of ladies, and I know the percentage on my YouTube, and also in my group, standing in power during this time, being leaders. I love the Queen of Wands. Always has a black cat, and so do I. Onyx, my bud, you've seen him and stuff. But connecting, and everything, but knowing your power and stuff. Four of Cups. Now that card is about the cup that is being offered. There is an energy to disconnect from that which holds your attention, your vision, and keeps you sometimes even stubborn and fixated, externalized. Now, there is going to be a point, this is what I almost forgot to say, which is very important. Let me pull up with this. We are getting to the point where AI manipulation is going to become so powerful and prevalent that, it's only a matter of time before, when you log into social media or anything, even YouTube, that you will not be able to trust your eyes and ears. And what will become more factual, what will become more honest, where you will get your truth, where before we relied on certain things to get that. Maybe you have a favorite podcaster, okay, and stuff, but it's going to be internal. In other words, when you meditate and you get those downloads, when you quiet your mind and you hear that inner voice, that is going to become your source of truth, not what's outside of you anymore. They're going to blur the line so hard that outside you won't be able to trust shit Ola. Okay? They'll be deep faking everybody. They might deep make fake me. Shit, I've been faked so many fucking times already, but they're gonna get crafty. It's gonna be to the point that when you close your eyes and you open that third eye and you connect with source, that's your source for truth. Okay, so one of the things, Four Cups, yep, the love is within. Okay, that's what it's about. It is an internal journey. And so Spirit is like, you got to develop your inner world. Now, there are a lot of times I will tell people in my readings when I make my videos, and I'll be like, meditate, you got to go within. We got to develop the inner world. We got to strengthen that crown chakra to spirit and source, and we got to be brutal on it. We got to be strong. And it's going to be even more imperative, I just even over the next year, because the misinformation, you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse and worse to the point where if you want the truth, it's going to be fucking hard to get to. And this is, because so many people want to manipulate you and stuff. But this will be the point any old Joe, online can throw up 10,000 misinformations and leave and all fucked up, okay? So this is why you've got to develop your inner world, inner voice, downloads. It's critical, it's imperative, and you will find that is more honest than what you get from your five senses. So very important. Let's keep going. Very important. Four of Cups, yes, go within and stuff. The Star, I know a lot of you people are feeling this is reversed. The light at the end of the tunnel, that is the Age of Aquarius card. I've been talking about the Age of Aquarius for a while. Pluto went into Aquarius. That is a precursor for the ultimate age when the precession of the equinoxes comes. So we're going through this collapse in this challenging time, but the light is always there. And this is where we want to hold the light steady in the darkness. The Star, even if it reverses, is a positive. Hold the light steady in the darkness. I know it's challenging, guys. It's up Page of Wands. No matter what, passion, fire, energy, Spirit wants you to have that. Find something you're passionate about and put your energy into it. Don't be like, oh my God, the world's going to shit. It's not worth it for me to put myself. Yes, it is. Okay. Go out, do good things, do what you're passionate about. Don't give up on your dreams, no matter what you see. Okay. Don't let the darkness win. The tower, they are collapsing. The old ways are going down. All this stuff, like you could even see, like even in America, whether they're on the right or the left, whether they're MAGA, liberal, whatever it is, nobody wants war, nobody wants chaos. This tower energy, it's all collapsing, it's all falling apart. Give it time, guys. We are in, when I talk about the butterfly, you take the caterpillar, he's crawling around, right? You put him in the cocoon, and then he becomes a butterfly, which is free. We are in the cocoon stage, and that's why it's the tower. We're in the cocoon stage where everything's getting all mushy and messy and crazy and chaotic. And that caterpillar is probably scared as fuck and doesn't know what's happening. And that butterfly is basically like freedom and Christ consciousness. So we're in that stage right now, guys. Okay, we're all in the cocoon going, oh my God, I know it's frustrating. Now, two at once, many of you are at a crossroads and things like that. We're not going to follow the masses. We're going to follow the path with heart. Okay, the one that Spirit is calling you. Don't worry about following the masses, but Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune can be good luck, yes, yes, but it also could be about liberation. And that's what Spirit wants for everybody. Your soul liberated, saved, all that good stuff. Okay, that is important. Notice it's kind of parallel to this tower energy. Let's see what we got. Seven of Cups, we got to be lucid and not distracted. Seven of Cups can be about distracted and also choosing, the wrong cup and so forth. But the little hooded figure, which there is one here too, we want to choose the true self, the unveiling, getting to Christ consciousness. So we don't let the powers that be distract you. Meditate for Christ's sake. Yes. Four of Swords energy, that is all about meditation and remain calm. Disconnect, detach, turn off your phone, read books, all that stuff. We got to detach from this energy and stuff. It's an assault on the senses and stuff. We will be victorious in the end. When we cross over, that was a good game, okay? And stuff. Let's kind of go ahead and see. A Ten of Pentacles. Now, this card can be, yes, it's a wealth card. It's not limited to that. Healing generational trauma. You got to heal. There's a lot of traumatized people out there. They're all traumatized, and we got to heal generational trauma. If we all did that, we'd be good. Now, the Chariot reverse is the outcome here. Now, one of the things I feel like Spirit is saying is one of the challenges is for you guys to get in alignment with Spirit, lean on that energy, and you'll be victorious. The reversal is some people aren't doing that. Okay, they're relying on certain 3D things, and that's what's holding them back. But the spiritualist knows better to align with Source Spirit and everything. So we will be victorious, but there is another energy. There are some people who aren't doing that. They're trusting politicians and shit. I mean, it's like you give me credit. You got to get with Spirit and stuff. They're losing their way, and it's unfortunate. So let's pull from some Oracle and give you guys some messages. But I want you guys, like I said, connect with Earth, get out there, stand on some grass and stuff. Balance your manifesting. Don't forget, you guys are manifestors. Okay, you create your own reality. You can do that. And so abundance, if you're worried about it, don't have a scarcity mindset. Abundance is here. The universe is so generous. So we want to also make sure to thank Spirit for what we do have, what is going right. There it is, the channeler. Your body is intuitive. Listen to it. And that also backs up what I was just saying. The truth, the right information is going to be coming in your downloads. It's going to be coming in meditation. It is not very far off, guys. It's right around the corner, to the point that you will not be able to trust your five senses because the zone is going to be flooded with misinformation to mislead the masses. And that's where we got to detach and we got to be like, you know what? Bullshit. I call you on your bullshit. Okay? We've got to be wise. We've got to be awake and aware. And that's where your body is signaling you. You've got chakras. Plug in. Get the downloads. Clarity. There it is. Prepare to make a decision. Clarity is right around the corner. But yes, the clarity will come when you get the downloads. Okay, it will come. It's there. But also allow it to flow. Let that shit go. When things are getting to you, drop it. Let it go. We got to return to our sanity. And it's all about, and it's always been about, from the get go, healing. Focus on yourself or your health. That's most important. We got to take care of our health, mental, physical, spiritual, all of it during this time. So we got, and like I know we want to be aware of everything that is going on. Yes, we want to be aware, but we also have to be careful. Plugging in to see what's going on your news feed, on this, that, it's like being psychic attacked. You got to shield, but you also got to unplug, and you got to be like, I got to get to a place of peace. Spirit, give me to a place of peace. Okay, we've got to do that as well. Put on some meditation music, close your eyes, come down, and listen for the messages. There is a spirit that is like, I have so many things to tell you. If you would just open up and listen to what I have to say, and it will not lie to you. It will be totally honest and everything. So make sure to be taking care of yourselves during this time. No predictions about the world at the moment. You all know it's collapsing. That's ultimately what it's doing. It's collapsing before our eyes. And there's a lot of stuff they want to bring in to try to control the masses. But as they're doing that, more people are waking up. That's the good news. That's the good news. I do hope this helps.